Hello, everyone. Welcome. Or welcome back. I am George. This is my co-host, Dan.
Absolutely, and welcome to episode number 11.
11.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Smooth. How do you like that one?
That was perfect.
Yeah, nice apple whiskey. So, what's going on? How'd you like the fight yesterday, by the way?
The fight between Tyson Fury and
Deontay Wilder.
wow, that was the most entertaining fight I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was
by
very
the way.
entertaining.
I mean, I grew up in the Mike Tyson era, and it was entertaining. But I mean, what was it? 30 seconds? His fights most of the time. Yeah,
under a minute.
First rounds.
Yeah,
basically first round knockouts.
Yeah, or about the second or third.
Yeah, and but I mean, just the entertainment part in the beginning of this fight, I thought was funny. Honestly, it was what stuck in my mind was when Deontay Wilder was stretching, his trainer was stretching him out. So they had two cameras,
right,
each in their respective rooms, and the camera on Deontay Wilder the trainer was stretching him. He was on the floor. He was getting massages, and then in Tyson Fury's room, he's on the couch trying on which crown he's gonna wear.
Right.
And his T-shirt.
He was dancing.
Just
already
and
celebrating the victory.
Yeah, he wasn't. There was no stretching.
Right.
No.
Well, it was a great fight, and I did not think Fury was going to just dominate the way he did. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer, but great fight. I thought Wilder was going to be victorious.
Yes.
No, he took a beating.
Well, you would think. Well, they're both professional boxers, right?
Yeah. They had a perfect record.
They both had a perfect record.
Yeah, perfect record. I was let down. I thought Wilder was going to win. But
well, it seemed like he was more of the technical, skilled boxer, and Fury was just kind of like a brawler. I mean, I've never heard of these two.
Yeah,
before the last fight. I mean, the last fight was the only time I've ever seen those two, and
now you'll be hooked because you'll want to watch.
I want to see who wins
fight again
between Fury and it's now going to be between Fury and who?
Probably Anthony Joshua. He's the one. They're both from Britain, and it should be an amazing fight. But now I'd have to put my money on Fury, just because the guy's a beast.
You're gonna go with a streak, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the streak. Never betting on Wilder again, but he let me down. But it's okay.
Well, I mean, it looked promising. He was with trainers that were stretching him out, that were working him out.
Did you see that? I think it was in round 5. It could be a different round, but maybe it was even in 6 when Fury was licking the sweat and blood off of Wilder.
He was doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Just taunting him,
looking at him and making faces at him.
Oh yeah, he's an animal. But he won a belt. I think it was 2015, and he had his own personal problems from addiction to
Fury.
Oh yeah, but he definitely came back and reclaim the throne. That's what his whole thing was. He's going to reclaim the title. But let's see how long he lasts with it.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's going to want to see Fury fight Anthony Joshua now. That's pretty much it's got to be the fight.
And Anthony Joshua is the guy who got beat
by Ruiz.
By the dad bod.
Yeah. Which is unbelievable. I mean, nobody would have anticipated that fight. But every fighter, every warrior has a bad day. I mean, you get caught off guard. You're not prepared. You got to plan and execute, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But in this case, I thought Wilder, he did not look his best to me. I don't think so. I mean, Fury didn't even look like he was punched.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if he really connected.
After seeing them together, it seemed like, Wilder, just on his own photo or image, he looks big because he's defined, he's cut.
Wilder or Fury?
No, Wilder.
Yeah.
So, but when you put them together, I mean, Fury's actually bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Just more meat on his bones.
Oh, he's a big guy.
It's fat. And then he's got such skinny legs.
Wilder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know, how much did he weigh? Do you remember?
I don't recall offhand. He's got to be at least 230, 235, maybe more. But
which isn't
6'7".
But
full of
Wilder is, Fury is 270, right?
I think that is
that's a good
peak.
30 pounds.
I don't know exactly. Let me look that up while we're talking.
He just looks skinny. He just kind of looks skinny as a heavyweight. Anyway, it was the most entertaining from the beginning, from when they were in their rooms up to the point where they came out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Fury was on a throne being carried like an Egyptian by muscular women.
Isn't that just entertaining?
And then Wilder with his Lord of the Rings costume.
Is that what it was?
Well, I mean, that to me, that's what it looked like. The Lord of the Rings. I don't even know what it's called, but it's
the orcs.
Yeah, he was one of the. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah,
but it was cool. It was a cool costume.
He always tries to be flashy. I think it's a little silly at times, but
and he had a rapper. He had a rapper in front of him.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the fight before that, this guy had 2 rappers, and he won. And I'm like, you know what? If you have a rapper on your entrance, if you have 2 rappers on your entrance, most likely you're going to win. Right. So that guy won.
Yeah,
and then Wilder came out and with his rapper, and I'm like, that looks good.
Right, but it's
you got your own rapper
carried on a throne. So it's definitely interesting. It was very entertaining, and again, a fight like that, you get hooked because let's say there's part 3. Wilder has an opportunity to come back and and fight again. That's just going to be an amazing fight. I mean, but I think Fury would take him down. Just by the look of this fight, it was one-sided. It was a one-sided beating.
Fury whipped his ass.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So I was a little like taken back a little bit. I thought Wilder was going to really put up a better fight, maybe, but it is what it is. Yeah, I bet on the wrong pony.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like roulette. Every streak has got to end.
But they both had such an amazing career, so.
And this might go into our next, this could branch off into another topic. When Wilder was in his corner, his ear was bleeding. Just kind of profusely, actually. It was just dripping. It's not just, blood here and there. And then when he took a swig of water and he spit it out into the bucket, it was just red.
Oh, yeah.
He was just spitting out blood. Blood was coming out of his ears. I mean, I don't know what exactly could bleed in your ears. I guess
he took some powerful shots to the head, but I think
But that can't be good. That can't be. Blood coming out of your ears is just not normal, obviously, but what kind of damage do you think?
Well, I believe he was hospitalized yesterday. I don't know to the extent,
Can you imagine losing? I mean, as a fighter, if you lose hearing on one ear, that might be it because your equilibrium's gone.
Yeah.
You need both ears to balance.
And he looked like he did lose some balance.
During the fight, he was
disoriented,
absolutely, and that's the start of his downfall. When I bet you when his ear started bleeding, he probably couldn't keep his balance.
Right. And then I believe his corner threw in the towel, and that's when the ref kind of stopped it, I think, from what I saw. But again, I don't know if they'll come back. They'll make a comeback. They all do.
Well, that'll be another entertaining.
Wouldn't that just be an amazing fight? Part 3. And if Wilder was to become victorious on that one, wouldn't that be great? And then there'd be a 4th. But they're both young. They're both young. I mean,
that was for the world champions, is that right?
Yeah. So now Fury, has the belt, and Anthony Joshua has his belt. So.
And Anthony Joshua is
he's a Briton as well, and he's the one that won his belt back from Ruiz.
But I mean, what belt does he have?
I forget on the belts. They have so many different belts these days.
You can tell we're sports people.
Well, there's just too many. It's ridiculous anymore. I mean, watch Anthony Joshua, how many belts the guy has.
What I was saying was, it could branch off into this subject I wanted to talk about, was living with a disability. I saw a video today. Of course, he's a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many things you can do with no arms and no legs, but so there's this guy that has just no arms at all.
Yeah.
He's just a torso, but he's got 2 legs, and he's on there. I just kind of heard the first part, and then I kind of moved on. People always ask him how he goes to the bathroom.
That's their number one question.
That's their number one question, but he never answered it.
Well, he obviously needs an assistant or something. If you have no arms.
Yeah, or just go to the bathroom at home, and you have some kind of devices on there to wipe your ass, and just to take your pants off. There's no way you can use your feet to take your pants off.
Well, he might have special pants where he can do something with his toes. It's amazing when you see people with no arms, how they adapt and they use their feet.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, this guy was playing the drums.
Yeah.
He was holding that's how that basically his legs were his arms.
Yeah.
He even had a kid, and
amazing.
Yeah, and he
we don't have kids. This guy's got a kid.
I know. Well, that's my choice.
Right. No, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, so he kind of demonstrated how he held his baby, and it's just like arms. He crossed his legs like Indian style, and that's how he cradled his baby.
It's amazing.
With his feet in a cross, Indian.
I think I've seen him before
on
social media.
Yeah, he's playing the drums. He obviously he just does stuff with his feet now. But yeah, the bathroom thing, that kind of got me. It's like, how does he go to the bathroom?
It's amazing the things we think about or how people do things, but the challenges in life, they're just amazing. Just tie your hands behind your back for a day and just see how
what we've done. Yeah. Of course, it'll be extremely tough for us that we've already grown up and lived with 2 arms.
Sure.
But with him not knowing any different, he just adapted it just like anything else, any other animal adapts to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is crazy. Just back to Anthony Joshua real quick. I just want to say he's holding the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, and the IBO titles. I mean, it's 4 titles, and it's just unbelievable. But yeah, back to people with those types of disabilities. I'm so impressed and how positive, and not everybody, of course, but how some are. And they move forward and they accomplish amazing things. But just to see someone play the drums with their feet, it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
or any instrument, it's difficult enough, but to do it with your feet.
Well, and then there's that guy that has no arms and no legs.
Right, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, he's got like a he calls it a chicken foot or chicken leg because it's just partially part of his leg. And that's what he uses.
It's amazing.
But he can swim.
With what? How are you paddling? What are you using to paddle? Your neck? Your head?
Well, it's kind of like a dolphin.
I don't know.
You use the bottom part of your torso to.
It's quite amazing.
It is quite amazing, actually. He was.
Refill?
Yeah.
I don't know one of these.
He's he's also a motivational speaker, and.
Want a little more?
No, that's good.
That's a good one.
But he's living a better life than I am, and I've got all my arms and legs.
He's living the dream.
I mean, he can even drive a boat. He just kind of controls it with his nubs.
It's
He's
amazing.
he's got like a shoulder and a partial arm. Not even, I wouldn't even call it an arm. It's just a part of his shoulder, and that's what he uses to control the steering on his.
I think we've all been sick at one time or another, where a body part, maybe a broken leg or an arm, or you're confined to your bed for a day, and then I think you get a greater appreciation for
absolutely.
what people go through.
That's funny. You know what I mean? Say that. I actually think that's why. Well, not solely why, but I think that's one of the reasons we get sick is to
appreciate
those days when we're not sick, and to have that contrast of when you are well, you know how to appreciate it, I guess.
But you've always had that philosophy,
I guess
like
so,
you need
yeah.
a shitty day in life to appreciate a good
Exactly.
day. You need rain to appreciate the sun.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
it, and I understand that. I'm just saying
And that's when people say, why do bad things happen?
to appreciate the good.
I think that's it. I think that's, you have to have, it's black and white. You have to have black to see the white.
And darkness to see the light.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I totally get that. And I'm just saying at those times where I've been bedridden for an injury, you feel so helpless.
You feel like you're dying.
You feel like you're dying. And I could be the biggest pussy when I'm hurt. I mean, thank God for family and friends, I guess, but to help you through your time of need. But just imagine, though, being bedridden.
Oh.
And I mean, that's
and
your
not
life.
being able to
do anything.
come out of it. Like, you're not going to
For
come out
life.
of it. You're not going to
Paralyzed.
recover from that.
It's amazing.
Right. At least when you're sick. Well, at the time, you're thinking, God, this is just awful.
Right.
But then a small part of your brain is still has that hope saying, I just can't wait till I get better.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But these people who are bedridden, it's permanent.
And that's
I
why-
can't even imagine that.
And that's why I fear getting old, to where you can't open up a jar of pickles because you don't have the strength, or going to the grocery store. I get tired going to Sam's Club.
Yeah, I'm sore. I'm sore right now, and I haven't worked out. I don't know what I did to be sore.
Right? And imagine 40 years from now, if we live that long, but imagine going to the mall and then all these little rat bastards running in front of you, cutting you off.
Well,
and
that's how I
not opening up a door for an old, you know what I'm saying?
I see old people now, and I really notice that. I really pay attention to other people now,
Huh.
and how they're struggling.
Sure.
And like old people, they're just going really slow, or they're making these pain noises.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this person is just constantly in pain, because every step he takes, he's just
painful.
going.
Right. And they're still out there
Yeah,
moving forward.
they're still out there moving around. But I mean, God, is that what I have to look forward to?
That's what we have to look forward to. It's sad, but I mean, that's kind of what it is, That's life. But I'm not sure,
Well, it makes me appreciate
does
how I walk.
Well,
just walking, period.
I think it makes you more humble as a person, and then you do appreciate more. And I think just to be kind to others, I really do believe you should be kind to everybody. That's like the Joker movie,
Right,
It's-
right.
if people only, were to show that poor boy kindness, but people are ready to snap at any given time, and that's back to mental health too. But
Yeah. But I wonder what kind of world we would have if everyone were just nice.
And
you know what I
healthy.
mean? And nice and healthy.
could you imagine growing old? You're 90 years old, but you're as flexible and as you are when you're at 40.
Yeah.
Like if the human body peaked at 45 or 50, and then your body didn't just crumble to where you can just break a bone so
Yeah.
easily, like become so fragile. You know
But
what I mean?
at a certain time, you just die. Just
And then
because,
you check out
Yeah.
because you only have so many heartbeats,
Yeah.
and then that's just when your time's up.
Right.
That would be amazing if that was the case. But to be so, you basically crumble.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
You're so fragile, and then you just
you age. Basically, that's
yeah,
the
the aging
definition of
process.
aging.
Absolutely. But
It's. I think it's just part of how the world needs to work. There's not. Everyone can always say, "Oh, why can't we just do this? Why can't we just live forever? Why can't we just
Well, I would like
have
to live
nice
forever.
things? Or why can't everyone just be nice?" I think the world needs all these different things for it to function correctly.
Yeah,
Because
possibly.
if everyone were nice, and if everyone didn't have any disabilities, everyone was just there would be is
What you're
just a
saying.
level of this feeling. There wouldn't be any happiness because people wouldn't know what that is.
Right.
They
I see
don't
that
know.
point.
They're never sad. It's just this. We're just existing. There's no highs, no lows.
True.
And I don't think that's living. I think living actually, you do need some lows. You need lows here and there, or you need to see.
So you don't believe in a utopia for all? I mean,
I don't think it would work. I don't
I don't think it would work either.
I just it sounds nice.
Yeah, and everything sounds good on paper. But it just wouldn't work.
I mean, everyone's not work. Everyone doesn't work, or everyone works. But who's gonna do the toilets? Who's gonna do the cleaning? Who's gonna do the surgery?
Absolutely.
If everyone were equal and
Right.
everyone were rich, everyone were educated, who's gonna do the small stuff?
Nobody. So yeah, you need a mix of everything. And I totally get it, and I agree with that. I mean, it's just sad. Just the idea of getting old bothers me. You know what I mean? Can you see yourself yourself at 90?
No, I
You know what I mean?
I'm thinking I'm gonna.
You don't want to get that colonoscopy.
Yeah, well, I just don't want to. I don't want to get to the point where I can't get up or I can't do something because I'm older. It hurts, or I just physically can't because my body won't let me. Your brain says,
Right.
I'm trying to do this, but my body won't let me. I can't. That's my fear.
Well, you don't want to be helpless. You don't want to have to rely on anyone for anything because you lose your independence. And that's really what it comes down to, that fear of losing that independence.
And I think that's why I kind of believe that's why Robin Williams killed himself, because he got to the point he had, didn't
want to be a burden.
He had Parkinson's, and I think
he tried to hide it for years, didn't he? From the
yeah,
public?
right. I think it's magnified in his situation because he was this famous, great actor and was in the limelight and was in his physical comedy, and acting. That was his life. That was the way he was. That's his signature personality. His physical. He did the physical comedy.
Right.
And then when he can't do that, and then suddenly when he can't do that anymore, and his body's losing, he can't even control his own body.
Right.
I think he just falls into that deep depression.
And checked out his way.
And checked out his
How did
way.
he go? He hung himself?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible. Yeah, so how would you off yourself if you were going to...
Well, I think the most painless way is...
Just pills, go to sleep?
Well, that could be, but I mean, someone finds you, let's pump your stomach and you're back up again. It's carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, just go to sleep?
Yeah, you go to sleep. I think that's the most painless way to...
I don't know why
kill
people
yourself.
shoot themselves. There's a lot of people that I've, over the years, you hear about people. And
That's just crazy.
That is crazy because there have been cases where somebody shoots themselves in the head and they live, but now you're like
absolutely.
a vegetable. Or
now
something.
you're a vegetable. That's exactly.
That's terrible.
absolutely cases
and then
like
even
that.
hanging, it's like you might not do it right. You don't snap your neck or suffocate.
Right.
You dangle there
Or
for
your face is half your face is blown off.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're still
live.
alive. Yeah. But actually hanging. So first, I learned all this in the police department, by the way.
Sure, I want to hear.
You don't even need to, when you hang yourself, you can hang yourself from a doorknob. You don't have to hang yourself from somewhere high and dangle your whole body and have your whole body. You just have to cut off the circulation and just lean over, cut off the circulation, and
it's like I've heard you can't drown yourself. I mean, it's very difficult because you're gonna just come up for the oxygen. And I would think from a doorknob, it would be the same thing. Like unless your arms are bound, and then you do something to where
or
that last minute regret, you're not trying to like reverse whatever you did.
Or if you take pills and you just kind of fall asleep and fall asleep on your sleep. But
well, sure.
If you somehow purposely cut off the circulation on your neck to your brain, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, people that check themselves out. I mean, I don't know. It's very I wouldn't say admirable, but it's a quality that people should have the right to do that. But it's so sad because, people like us, we fear death, or I do. You fear growing old. I want to grow old to 210. Like, I never want to die. Put my consciousness
well, there's always
into
that
the
fantasy
computer.
of living forever. And some people have that. Yeah, some people have that.
There's a vampire out there. Come bite me. Because I want to live forever.
Well,
that's me, though.
For me, it's, because I'm in this class where I'm working for the rest of my life, basically, paying bills,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a...
As good as it gets.
No, this is a kind of a tough subject, I guess, for me to talk about.
Well, what makes it tough? You want to be rich. If you were rich, you'd want to live forever.
Not necessarily rich, exactly. So if I had the I guess unlimited funds to do whatever I want in life instead of kind of just working and not doing anything, basically.
Right. Well, that's true. But I would still rather live forever and work and just find something that you enjoy doing. Yeah. So it's not.
I'm sure there's going to be those people out there going, "Oh, he hasn't found God yet."
Well, maybe God hasn't found me. I don't know. But no, I mean, if you were worth $1 billion, you'd want to live forever because this world is designed for people with lots of money. That's what this world's designed for.
Well, that's the only way to live, I believe. I mean, you some people can say, "Oh, you can live and have a happy life, living, with no money." Look at some of these poor people; they're happy, and but they haven't. I guess maybe they don't know what's out there. It's hard when you know what's out there, but you can't get to it. Like I want to travel, I want to see the world, and I don't have enough money to see probably a 10th or a 20th of the world. And that I see it on obviously TV or videos and stuff like that. But I want to do it I want to do it in real life.
Right. I don't think those poor people that are living on the streets are living, but they have more freedom than I do. I mean, they live by their own rules.
Yeah. I mean, sure, they're happy in their own,
I don't know if they're happy,
own world.
Right.
They're not could be happy because they don't know any better.
But now they're a burden to society. They're not even really living. They really are. But I mean,
you take that same poor person and you pick them up in a limo. You dress them up. You take them to a house that has automated everything.
Right.
Showers that are just instantly hot or whatever temperature you want. Sure. A TV in the shower. They're washing up, watching TV. They dry themselves off. You put them back into the limo where they get driven to a private jet. And then they get taken to this amazing tropical island. And then you just take him away, put his clothes, the same clothes back on, and put him back down in that street.
Right.
Do you think he's going to be happy again? You think he's going to be the same person?
I don't know.
As he was when he was, when he didn't know all that existed?
I think he would find himself a way to get back to that island and be a bum on that island, live the island life.
Yeah, he's going to become an entrepreneur and make his money, and then and then you know what?
Get enough money to travel to get to that island, and then living the life that I'm not going to live because I'm working.
I guess I could. There's always a way to do it. I'm sure. Well, I mean, this kind of is. That's in the direction we're going.
Sure.
If we get popular enough and we do this for a job, I'd be ecstatic.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
If we can just do this and have guests and make enough money to live this way and do what we do instead of doing this part time.
Right. No, I do agree.
And then travel amazing. Now and then.
It'd be amazing. But as the years go by, we're getting older and older, and I'm not even that. I don't see you like to travel, and I'm not as much the traveler as I once was.
You don't think you are?
Well, if I was a billionaire, then I'd be traveling more.
Yeah, exactly.
But these days, I don't feel like. I think the high cost of the travel.
Well, that's the thing. That's the whole point is.
Well, exactly.
If you had money, you travel.
Well, private jet is definitely different than economy, first class, whatever. I mean, you spend a fortune for what? You're usually, most people are pissed off when they're traveling because everything's heavy. It's annoying. They lose your luggage. There's delays. There's weather. Blah, blah, blah. But when you have a job, you're on a schedule. You're on a tight schedule. So if you have an agenda and an itinerary when you go to someplace and you want to, if you're somebody like me, I like to stick to the itinerary. And then when you're late and you miss something and everything's paid in advance and then it sucks and then you come back, you're 10 grand in the hole and you're like, was that even worth it? I mean, I got a picture, but half the pictures I take look just like I could have been around the corner from this place. It looks just like the picture I took.
Right, it's the same sunset.
It's the same sunset. It's the same person or persons in the photo. It's I went to the zoo today. I absolutely do love the zoo, but I could have said I was in the San Diego zoo. You wouldn't know. There's an elephant behind me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. An elephant looks like an elephant. Every city I go to, I think
if you go on safari, that would be a different experience than the zoo.
You know what? And this is I disagree on this one now because I brought this up today, and I said, you know what? I love the zoo. I love these animals in captivity. I love it because I don't have to travel to Africa to see a giraffe, right? I don't have to travel there to see a lion. And if I go there, I'm going to, the lion or an animals might attack me. We're just going to have to kill it.
No, you're in the unit vehicle. You're in like a caged vehicle.
Oh, so now I'm the caged animal.
Well, yeah, but you see him, you see him in an actual, to me, sometimes the zoo's kind of depressing.
Well, I know. Let me finish my point real quick on this one. It is somewhat depressing because you feel like they're these caged animals, but they're safe. They're not being hunted. They're well fed. There's 24-hour doctors or veterinarians on site. They're well fed with nutritional, foods, healthy foods. They have a beautiful, environments, right?
Yeah, they're caged.
So in the winter, they're but they're treated like little gods. And I'm like, and we get to view them. But think about all the children growing up. When would they ever see a live animal? I mean, how many families are going to Africa to the plains? You can't even afford it these days.
There's positives to the zoo. I mean, the conservation of certain animals, the education
everything
to the public.
I don't know why anyone would be against animals being in captivity.
It's just sometimes the last time I went, the animals starting to go crazy when they start walking back and forth.
I disagree. I think it's feeding time, and they know.
No, because it's just they're going back and forth.
I don't think they're going crazy. I think it's closer because they were all doing that today.
There's a rhinoceros I saw. He was just staring on the ground on this puddle of water, this puddle of green water. He just stood there and stared at it. I don't even know if he was looking at it. He's probably the sedentary lifestyle he has.
What else could he be doing?
Can you imagine if you were stuck in this house? It's a nice house, granted. Okay. But let's say you're stuck in this house for the rest of your life. Yeah, but you get fed well. They're going to slip some food underneath the table.
Food, and they bring me a female to... Well, I don't have to work. I don't pay bills. I'm well-fed, medical. People view me because they love me and they want to take pictures with me. And I basically produce anytime I'm in the mood. I mean, what's there not to love?
I absolutely think you would go crazy.
But I think we're
you might think that in a month or two, maybe 4. But after a year, you're going to be the one going back and forth. And I'm going to walk in and you're going back and forth. Hey, Dan, it must be feeding time.
Well, I see that point. But human beings are not meant to be in such close quarters. But let's just say you're on a 5-acre field. Let's just say 5 acres and you have a barn, kind of like, you see those steel garages, barns, and it's totally decked out.
Jurassic Park.
Well, but just picture, you have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you have everything a human being would need and everything. So you have your home gym, a theater, you have entertainment, and then they're trucking in a female every day. I mean, I'm just saying, why would you want to leave the property? Think about it. And then you get checkups. Everything's free. The food's free. You're not preparing it. You have chefs bringing you food. I mean, think about it. But your environment would have to be 5 acres or so you have plenty of time to roam, exercise. That's the life. Put me on that 5-acre lot. I'm there. I'm there. I can do. I bet I could. I bet. Hey, I bet I can do it. We'll find someone who has 5 or more acres, and I bet I could live a year without even one complaint.
Yeah, I think a year is too short.
Wow.
It'd have to be 5 years.
I could do 5 years without leaving the property, but everything I just said has to be included.
Right.
Because I'm happy with that.
Including the women being trucked in.
Why not? I mean, you know, I don't believe the zoo has just a male or just a female.
Right.
They always
yeah,
have.
They try to.
They keep them happy.
What do you call it? Well, it's not keeping them happy.
Nah, they want to produce.
It's
keep
producing more of that species.
Of course, but I think I can do it. I would say 5 acres is more than enough for what I would need.
You know, they had this snake. Well, apparently snakes can do this, but one of the zookeepers suddenly saw little tiny snakes inside one of the snake pits.
Oh.
And it turns out the snake impregnated itself.
Right.
Like it's whatever, I don't know what you call it, but they can just reproduce on their own, which is absolutely amazing.
So, man, it fucked itself. Isn't that crazy? That's a good one. That's
All right.
delicious. But I do. The zoo was beautiful today in El Paso. And really a shout out. I think they did an amazing job. They keep putting more money into it. Oh, yeah. I haven't been there for I think I go once a year.
Yeah, I haven't been there in 2 years.
Yeah, it could have been 2 years, but I feel like I go at least once a year. And I thought it looked amazing. When I first came to El Paso about 15 years ago, I was not overly impressed with the zoo, but I still because I love animals, and I would go at least once a season. Once a winter usually.
Interesting to see.
But now it's really looking nice.
You normally don't see.
Well, it's just exactly. And if we didn't have zoos, you would never see these animals.
Right.
You'd have to watch them on TV, and it's just completely different when you see them.
Sure.
It's not the same.
But I bet you it's completely different if you're in a safari, though. You actually see.
Yeah. Imagine the expense.
Well, sure. I'm just saying, without any thought to the expense, and if you had all the money in the world,
right,
a safari would beat the zoo, I think.
I think it would beat it if you weren't in a caged vehicle. But then again,
just roaming around, walking around.
Oh yeah, but now look how dangerous that would be.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that would be dangerous. But yeah, you'd have to be in a vehicle.
Right, and the way I look at it, I would rather be in a zoo where they're in captivity. I don't want to be the one in captivity. But that'd be a great movie when that vehicle breaks down.
I'm sure there's a movie like that.
Where I'm telling you, that's a great idea, though, right? Picture like a bus in a cage, 12 people, and it breaks down in the middle of the safari, and now you have to hike out, and the guy has a flare, and but now you're hundreds of miles away from the safari, office. Could you imagine though?
Yeah, that sounds like
lions and God knows what out there, hyenas. They'd rip you apart.
Well, they have these videos of tigers attacking. I don't know if it's a tourist or just someone farming or whatever. Okay. But in some parts of the world, they have to be careful. These tigers just eating people.
Sure.
So there's this one video of this guy. He's on an elephant, and there's a tiger, or there's something lurking in the crops, and just out of nowhere, tiger just jumps out and tries to get this guy on the elephant.
Wow. I mean, that reminds me of that Ghost in the Darkness. Remember that movie? Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. I love that movie.
But I mean, these tigers know where
the food's at,
where the humans are at, and they've probably got a taste of humans.
Absolutely, and they don't care. And look how easy prey we would be.
Oh yeah, well,
for a tiger, that's what I'm saying. To them, they know we taste good, and that's it. And so I don't want to be in their domain. I want to go to the zoo.
Well, no, I would never I would never be out in the open on a safari. I'd want to be in a caged jeep.
I guess. What's your take on going in a shark cage?
A shark cage? I think that would be cool.
That would be something different.
I mean, you see videos of sharks getting into the cages.
Yeah.
I would.
And they get scared. They try to get out.
Well, that's crazy to me, but I would try to find a company that has cages that nothing can get in it.
Yeah, a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah. I wonder why they do. I wonder if it's for the diver. God forbid something happens and a diver could swim through the cage and get out. So you're not trapped in a cage.
Maybe. I don't know why.
There's got to be some reason.
Large opening.
But I think they have that opening. I would assume they would, for safety, for you to get out. But at the same time, I don't think many sharks are really that aggressive where they're going to come into a cage to eat.
No, the video I saw, I think,
movies do that.
Well, it actually happened, but I think that the shark just went in by accident.
Right, that's what I mean. I think I got confused, right? With all what are they, the chum in the water.
Which you're not supposed to, supposedly you're not supposed to do.
But that's how they get the sharks to come and get in a frenzy.
I think it's illegal now for that to happen. They just know where the sharks are, and they just go there.
And I'm sure the people paying are bored as shit because we probably don't have a ton of sharks.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. So you would get into a cage?
I would.
Yeah, it's been proposed to me if that's something I want to do, and I've seen too many of the 47 meters below and other movies, and I'm not sure I want to put myself in that situation. But when in Rome, if I was there, maybe.
I think I know enough to see, to visually see if something's safe enough. Like if I see a cage and there's like a loose hinge, I'll be like, I would point that out. Is this normal? This can't be right. And get me a Phillips, I'll fix it.
Right. Yeah, that would be a little nerve-wracking, but I wouldn't want
I think part of the problem sometimes is people just are oblivious to their own safety.
Absolutely.
When you should be looking, even though you're with a professional company, tour guide company, or whatever you want to call it,
right?
You still should be responsible for your own safety.
I agree. And when someone says a professional, what does that mean anymore? A professional tour guide. I mean, that's anybody with a business card. You know what I'm saying?
You never know. You never know.
And that's what worries me too.
But if they look like they have expensive equipment and they've been in business for 20 years,
sure, they got good reviews on Yelp,
1,000 reviews.
Yeah, I know.
I think I would trust that company.
Okay. Yeah, so you wouldn't really go down to the local mom and pop shop.
I think it's the people that look for discounts and they look for the discounted tour guide. Those are the ones that get left behind.
Right. You get what you pay for. Yeah.
What's that movie? They just leave them behind.
Yeah. Deep waters.
Yeah.
Something, right?
Yeah, something like that. But
they get eaten by the sharks.
Well, yeah, eventually
they get left behind.
But basically, it's this,
miscounted.
it's a scuba diving tour guide.
Yeah.
Where you go out in the ocean and you just scuba dive around the middle of the ocean, and then so when time's up, everyone goes back into the boat. The tour guide counts everyone, and you just trust that person to count everyone, and then okay, we're good, let's leave.
Right.
But if they miscount, you're leaving a couple of people
exactly.
behind.
And the movie was called Open Water.
Open Water.
And they made a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the sequel?
I don't remember it. It must have been not that good if I didn't remember it.
Well, this was actually kind of an interesting premise, but there were two people on a boat, and they jump into the water, but they forgot to kind of put the ladder down. And so when you jump into the water, it's almost impossible to climb into the boat because it's very slippery, and there's nothing to hold on to or grab.
Oh, yeah.
And so the boat's right there, and yet they were foolish. It was actually interesting.
Concept.
It is a good concept because I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I love movies that, are believable. Like it could happen. Open water could happen.
I think it was based on a true story.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, it is supposed to be, and I'm sure it has happened. And they learned of that when a fisherman caught a shark and they, gutted the shark and they found the camera. So there was footage of, that was the couple. But, there's so many movies that are loosely based, on stories that, I always think about, because whatever you do, could it happen, and then from horror movies, I love Wrong Turn. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Wrong Turn, I don't think I have.
Great movie once again. Just, good horror movies. One of the best is The Strangers. Oh, I'm always going to talk about that movie. That's why you need to own a gun.
Right. Yeah. Well,
you like horror movies?
Yeah, of course. I like the horror movies that are believable.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, sometimes the paranormal ones freak me out too, just because I kind of want to believe it. I've never, I don't think it happens. I don't think the paranormal exists.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
I have never seen a ghost, and
Do you believe anyone that says they saw a ghost?
Well, I believe that they believe that they saw it, which is a funny statement, but I don't think they exist. I think something else. They saw something else. Either I'll admit I got high one time, and so I was walking around my apartment, and suddenly I heard hello. Right? And I was walking, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then I retraced my steps and I started walking from where I started to where I ended up. And as my pants, my sweat, my what do you call it? My sweatpants, they weren't cloth. They were the shiny kind. And as they were rubbing, it made the sound going,
right, you thought I said hello.
And because of my, altered brain cells, I thought I heard hello because your brain tries to make sense of sounds. And then I realized, oh, it was just my pants. But I mean, anyone else that didn't want to investigate what happened, they probably would have believed, oh my God, I got high one time and I swear I started hearing, voices.
Right. But that's like getting drunk and seeing double, So yeah.
Right.
But there's always a reason behind it. Now, if you were not high and you saw something, that would be more believable, or heard something,
Yeah. If I saw something right in front of me, obviously I would believe it.
Yeah.
But then I would still try to make sense out of it. Like, why did I see it? Did I eat something? Did I drink something? Am I sick? Because sometimes the brain's, like I always say, the brain's such a powerful thing.
Right.
It can make you believe in anything.
Yeah.
When I get really tired and I'm driving and I'm like, this is the point where I'm almost practically falling asleep.
Right.
Every shadow I see, it looks like a monster.
Wow.
It's kind of weird. And I know at that point that I'm really tired when I start seeing shadows that are moving kind of like monsters.
Wow.
And it's actually kind of crazy because I think to someone else it'd be like, oh my God, it's a monster. But I just know that's just my brain. It's so tired that it's making sense out of shapes.
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever noticed this with fans. When you have a fan that's on and you're just kind of listening, it sounds like a radio. Does that ever happen to you?
No.
When a fan is on, or when something's on and it just sounds like a radio, but it's not a radio. It's just a humming noise or a fan.
Are you talking like static from a radio, or
No. It's just like an actual fan or something that's humming.
A ceiling fan?
Well, it's more like a box fan. So, and I looked it up. I had to look it up on Google because I thought I was going crazy. But it's actually a phenomenon where a certain type of noise and that frequency, your your brain tries to make sense out of that noise, and it just goes back to what's familiar to you, which would be radio, either radio talking but they're not distinct words. But it just sounds like either a song or someone talking.
It's never happened to me. I haven't heard of that, but I understand that, where it could be even a smell that, you smell something and suddenly you have this image of something that took place.
Oh, sure. You always have that.
Yeah. But when it comes to ghosts, I am on the fence. I can't say I believe in them, and I can't say I don't. But what I can say is I am never working at a funeral home or a mortuary, because if it does exist, I'm not having one of those little bastards hang on to my leg and come home with me. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't want that entity.
I don't. I'm not giving it a chance. It's not coming home to me. My house has been blessed, and I won't live next to a cemetery. I don't want to live on top of a cemetery. Remember that, the Poltergeist?
Yeah, I just think kind of like Bigfoot.
I do believe in Bigfoot.
Bigfoot and Sasquatch and all that. I feel like if these things existed, like ghosts, it would be on the news, like on the actual news, saying, "Oh, another person caught another ghost on film or on video," and we'd have videos of. Obviously, there's videos on YouTube, but it's all fake. You know what I'm saying? It's all fake videos, but because they're not on the news, they're just on someone's channel.
I believe in Bigfoot, though. I'm a conspiracy theorist to a certain
maybe at one point way back when.
Yeah, 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, sure, but there's not one now. Just like that show, that show.
Finding Bigfoot.
Finding Bigfoot or whatever. They don't want to find Bigfoot. The show would end. The show would absolutely end. So they want to keep it going, and they always try to go to the edge where it might be there. They'll show you some kind of evidence, but they never find them.
Right.
And they never will, because then their show will end.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I do believe in Bigfoot. I believe in aliens. I believe in a lot of things, but
aliens. I feel like I believe that there are other living beings, but I don't know if they've really visited us and abducted anyone.
I don't know. I mean, I bet we're so primitive to them, and they don't really care. We don't have we're not advanced enough. Maybe in another 100,000 years, when we advance and robots are taking over.
And see, so you make a good point. If when we get to that point that we're so advanced that we go to another planet, why would we, a superior being to this planet, abduct one of the beings in there and physically harm it and probe it and then put it back?
Why would we?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're crazy. Human beings are terrible. We'll find anything.
So it's the bad part of the society that's gonna abduct people when we get to that point.
Yeah, if there was an alien, our government would take it and do tests on it, and I'm sure we would kill it. I mean, I don't think we would put it in a cage. We would dissect it and try to learn as much as we could about it. I have no faith that I just think human beings are cruel creatures. I mean, there's kindness, but I think the violence. I mean, we're a violent breed of humanity. Is violent.
But I think for the most part, the scientists are going to want to keep it alive. They're going to want to take care of it. But what they need to know is when it's alive. So they're going to want to keep it alive.
That sounds reasonable, but I don't believe we're very reasonable people. And just like I believe the United States is very for as much violence as we have here, we're fairly a nation of laws, and generally, if people have something to lose, they're not going to commit crimes. But we are a violent people. But just think about other parts of the world, how violent they are.
Yeah, sure.
We're an American flag jacket and go walk in the Middle East. They behead you immediately. I mean, I'm just saying that's how violent humanity is. I mean, it's amazing how people in this country bitch about so much, and we have it so easy.
Right.
I mean, everyone's protected. Every single person is protected, whether you're illegal or not in this country. You're not getting beheaded.
Right.
You can commit heinous acts. You can go on a murder spree and get arrested. They don't even kill you right away. I mean, you got like 30 years before you even go to trial, it seems like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's amazing. But other parts of the world, I mean, there's that one little, I think it's off the coast of Africa. I can't remember the name of it, but, it's a native tribe that's been there for like 10,000 years, and there's like 52 of them left. And you're not even allowed to go on the island to spread, we might spread disease and wipe them off. But I don't know why we don't wipe them off. I mean, well, the reason I say that is they serve no purpose to humankind, and they're so not advanced, and they've killed the last photographer or somebody for National Geographic.
Well, yeah, they
got too close.
They're protected.
And exactly. Let me ask you. Oh, now I'm getting mad. Let me ask you something. Why can that tribe shoot arrows into a reporter or
they're going into their home. It's just like
wait a second.
a tribe can't come into your house.
What I'm trying to say is there's no repercussions for these people because they're not a civilized community, but yet we let them live. But yet they can kill. So let's just say your son, daughter, brother, sister, whatever, was a reporter, got too close because they're just stupid. I'm not saying they're not.
Well,
let's just say I know they're stupid, but they get murdered because they wanted to do a story on these people. Or I think there's been several people try to give them like supplies or medical, and then they kill them. They just kill them because you're another tribe.
outsider.
You're an outsider. Yeah, you're
Sure, okay.
right. And they have their own traditions. They're cannibals. They'll eat you. But let's just say your family member got killed. You wouldn't want to seek any kind of retribution.
No, because the family member was stupid enough to
right.
they know it's okay. It's just like the analogy I
We're
just said.
different.
Let's say you're living in this house. Let's say you have this 5 acres. Let's say your little 5 acres that you were mentioning earlier.
Okay.
That's your 5 acres. Okay. You've lived there for all your life. You raised a family.
Okay.
You built this community. And then suddenly a government from some other country comes in and wants to wipe you out. Would you be mad?
Of course I'd be mad.
Well, there you go.
But
you can't just wipe someone out.
Yes, and then this tribe wiped somebody out.
Okay, let's say
But the other guy came in peace.
Okay, let's say
came in peace.
Okay.
He wasn't there to attack them. If he went with guns trying to kill them and they killed him,
Okay.
that's different.
When you're a primitive community, you have this.
They shouldn't exist anymore.
You have this 5 acres.
Okay.
Okay, you can't go out. You can't really go out, but someone can try to sneak in, and you feel like your family or your community is in danger because of this person trying to come in.
But
so you
they
kill
came
them.
in peace.
But how do you know that?
What I'm saying is...
How do you know that?
Because you don't just shoot first and ask questions later. These people were attacking. What I'm saying is...
Okay, but
we live on a different world.
Let's say you put
Some
up
people
signs.
get away with anything.
You put up signs everywhere around your
No
your
trespassing.
acre. No trespassing. You will get killed if you cross this line.
They cross a line, I shoot them, I still get arrested in this country.
Yeah, that's this country. They're in a totally different.
What I'm saying is they get to act on a whole different level than anyone else because they're
But
this
they're not
community.
in regular society where there's rules.
But it
They're
just
in their own
shows you
community.
they're still human beings, right? So we give them the courtesy. We don't go and wipe them off the face of the planet.
Okay.
But they can do anything they want to
They're not
civilize me.
They're not doing anything they want.
First of all, it's not their land. They live there, but they don't own shit.
that
Show
was-
me a piece of paper. Show me a lease agreement. Give me some insurance. What do they got?
You're right. We should
What I'm just
wipe
saying,
them
though.
off.
But you understand what I'm saying is they get away with immunity. They can do anything.
They
Because,
can't do anything. If they step out of their land, I'm sure we could kill them.
we couldn't, though. That's what I'm saying.
If they stepped out of their land and they came into the United States, let's say they swam into the United States.
If we shot people, use of force for what? I mean, we would look like inhumane. We would.
No, but I'm saying if they started attacking
They
us,
came over here, they would get free medical, and I still would have to pay for my medical. What I'm saying is, they don't view. Okay, human beings are very violent, and it just shows you these people haven't progressed since the beginning of time. They're just a violent society, and they'll shoot you and eat you, and there's no repercussions for them. That bothers me. But at the same time, I mean, I understand it's their community.
yeah, but they're not running around freely and shooting people.
If you come near their island, they are.
Yes, it's just like if someone comes near your house,
I'm
you're
not
gonna shoot
shooting them.
Oh,
If they're causing me threat or a danger.
how do you know?
All right, this is where
Some guy,
we disagree.
Some guy, you're sleeping.
He's in my house.
And he's in your house, and he's this.
But they're on an island.
You know what I'm saying? They're looking through your drawers.
You know what's funny? If that same reporter or whomever had a gun and started wiping them out, he would go to trial. And yet he's defending himself, but he's not in.
How is he defending himself when he
they're
goes into
shooting-
their land?
He's being attacked.
Well,
so
he shouldn't have gone in.
Well, but who says that?
It's just like when someone
this
comes
is where
into
we
your,
disagree.
someone comes into your house,
This is my house,
and then
I have papers.
and then you attack them, and then they try to defend themselves. That's exactly what you're saying.
No, we're way off. We're on different spectrums
my
of the
God.
thought. You're protecting these people who would eat your heart while you're still breathing.
I wouldn't go there in the first place
Because you have
that's
half
their
a brain.
home.
It's not. It's an island. It's a beach.
Yeah, that's their home.
Who says it's their home? They don't even speak English. what I'm trying to
With
say,
that
though.
note,
No, wait. What
we
I'm
have
trying.
to, we have
what
to
I'm-
wait till next episode.
No,
to
no.
finish
I
this
want to
argument.
continue this because we're so far off on this.
All right. Well,
for
you're
the
gonna
next
have to,
episode.
you have to tune into next episode to see
Yeah,
how
we're
this
getting
argument
fired
ended.
up. We're getting fired up. I need people to tune in on this one. If they can comment at some point. I mean,
Yeah, look up
are
our
you?
YouTube. You look up our YouTube channel and comment on that.
Yeah, I'm
Episode
curious.
11.
I am really curious if more people are on George's side, where he thinks these people can do whatever they want to whomever they want, and no repercussions. They could eat your face, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. Or my side that says they live long enough, we should wipe them out. They serve no purpose. That's all I'm saying. But if they killed your relative, your son, your daughter, your father, your mother, you would want payback. That's all. That's the way I feel. But my point is, humanity is violent, and it just shows that these people are very violent. They're not civilized.
Yeah, they're all right. Well, we're gonna have to continue.
All right, close it out.
Well, thanks for tuning in, by the way, and I hope you tune in for the next one to see what happens to this argument. Because
I'm gonna do my
I don't know
research.
if I don't know if I can win this one. How can you fight against a guy that thinks he's right?
Well, I'm open to
All right.
new perspectives, but
All right,
at,
tune
at the same time, I just don't understand how a civilized man doesn't see my point of view. But yeah,
All right, everyone, that is our time for this episode. Hopefully, you learned something new. Maybe we even connected with some of you at some level, or you were just plain entertained. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, always be grateful, think of the things you have in life, and don't obsess about what you don't have. Keep looking forward, and always strive to be better than you were yesterday. Thanks. See you next time.
sweet. Until next time, be kind. Take care.